there anything else that you'd like to share with us this evening?
There's one more with your uncle, isn't there?
After he ventured into Indian country up north, he ventured into Indian country with my tribe and my father's people. And it was an experience for Jerry, but since I'd been through it with success, they were more comfortable with him coming down to treat him. I have one uncle, one of our elders, who was diagnosed with prostate cancer and actually went through chemotherapy. He was in remission for a while, and then he was getting worse. Cancer was also in his ribs and other bones in his body. By the time that Jerry had come seen him, he was going downhill again. He treated another elder, and my uncle, other uncle as well. And they are actually doing really well. The blood count with everything that Jerry had become going down. It was decreasing. My uncle now is doing really well. He's not on his medications anymore. His doctor is ecstatic. You know, they basically had written him off, saying to my other cousin, he is old. He's 78, something like that. He says, and he's just going to die slowly. There's nothing more that we can do for him after he's gone through chemotherapy. It's just going to slowly spread. But that's not the case anymore. He prescribed vitamin therapy as well as treated him, and it's been quite successful. So much so my other uncle, who also he treated, was the same, had prostate that was hardening, and his blood count was going up in a negative way. And he says, well, if this works for Lawrence, then I'm going to do it anyway. And he did. He saw Jerry, and he took the vitamin therapy, and his last visit to his doctor was, his prostate is softened, and his blood count is normal, and what were you doing? So he's doing really well.
So what did his doctor say when he said, what are you doing? He says, I'm seeing a chiropractor.
Well, he just said, well, you know, this is kind of unusual. He was of the old school of medicine. He goes, are you sure that's what it was? This might be just a fluke. But Eddie kept saying, no, I know what this is all about. So he, you know, said, this is the only thing I did that was different.
Excellent.
Well, the big key with prostate cancer is the prostate requires anywhere between 3 to 8 times the amount of zinc that the rest of the body uses. And when that zinc is not provided to the prostate, what happens is the prostate uses cadmium, and it converts cadmium into the prostate cells and turns them carcinogenic. So what we did was I treated him for, what was it, 3 days? So about 9 times. I guess I treated him 3 times a day for those 3 days I was down there. I also supplemented with vitamin A, mega doses of vitamin A, which is 100,000 international units with 400 milligrams of zinc. And what the two do is they work synergistically. Zinc allows A to do all of its functions, and A required or allows zinc to do all of its functions, and zinc also allows more additional vitamin A to be released from the liver. So what happens with that particular type of therapy is that if you go and you look it up in Merck's manual under vitamin A or vitamin A deficiencies, you find that there is no toxicity to vitamin A. The only type of toxicity they've ever found was with an infant child who was taking 300,000 international units over several months. And let me reiterate that one, as it was an infant, not an adult. Mm-hmm. So therefore, giving 100,000 international units of vitamin A to a patient is not anywhere near toxic, especially for an adult, let alone adolescent or anybody above the age of 2. Vitamin A has no toxicity. And if you ever do get to the point of being toxic with vitamin A, the worst thing that happens is you get dry skin. You stop the vitamin A treatment right away, the symptoms are gone the next day. So I prescribed that with the treatments that I was doing, plus the homozone, which is magnesium oxide powder that you stir with water, and then when you drink it, what it does is it mixes with the acidity in your stomach and breaks apart the magnesium and the oxygen into ozone. and oxygenates the blood, and cancer has been scientifically proven not to be able to survive in the body in an oxygen-rich environment. So, all you prostate people watching this, remember what I just told you. And vitamin A and zinc at those particular doses also work for infections, because if you go and you read the Merck manual, which is the medical profession's Bible, it says any deficiency of vitamin A will increase infections. And infections means flu symptoms, strep throats, any type of infection, any type of suppression of the immune system. Vitamin A at that level and zinc at that level, you divide it up into 2 equal doses in the day, will boost the immune system and enhance it enough to actually go in and take care of all of that, that decrease in the immune system. And that's pretty much what we did for him.
Excellent.
And when we actually went down, this is a good story, but I'm not going to go into it because it's too difficult for me to give you guys the scenario, what it was like walking in the door. But I actually talked to his, Lawrence's son, and he pulled me aside after the first treatment and told me that what his father's condition was, and his condition had gone from prostate cancer to the spine and then into the ribs, and that's usually the way prostate cancer metastasizes. And he just looked at me and he says, I went and I told our doctor, or his doctor, that we were going to see another doctor to get a second opinion, and he looked at me straight in the eye and says, the doctor looked at me and says, go ahead, do anything you can, because we can't do anything else for him. And there's just something about being told that. I don't know. It's starting to get a little emotional now. But and then to actually see him or hear that about him then, and then to see him now or to see any of them now, Loretta like she is now, or Hilton the way he is now, or Lawrence the way he is now, is just, it's amazing to see how the body can handle itself and how it's capable of taking care of itself no matter what is the problem. And it's like, I don't want anybody to look or watch the show and say, okay, this guy or this doctor is saying he can do all this. It's not to give any praise or the glory to me. I'm not the one doing it. I'm the one who's been given the gift to actually find what the problem is and then allow the body to go in and take care of its own self. And my favorite saying about what chiropractic is, or a doctor of chiropractic, is these signs shall follow those that believe. They shall lay hands on the sick and they shall recover. And to me, that's what chiropractic is, and that's what specialized kinesiology is what I do. We go in, we find it, we use basically our hands, except for the few things I've just discussed. And the wonderful thing about it is the body will go in and fix it. Once you let the body know that there's something wrong, and you slap it and wake it up. It just looks at it and says, hey, there's something wrong here. I know it now. Thanks, I'm going to fix it.
Right.
And that's just a unique thing.
The greatest joy, as he's saying, is to watch the people respond. Here now my uncles are driving, he's 76, he's driving his tractor, he's fixing his road that washed out in the flood, he's picking up cement bags. He's got, I call him the little Energizer bunny, because it's not the same. There's been improvement, and that is really special when it comes to alternative care that people really need to know about.
Excellent. Well, thank you both so much for being here, and thank you for watching. Again, we'll see you next time on Better Health Through Chiropractic. And if you or any of your loved ones have any chronic aches or pains, or have been told that you have something that you just have to suffer with, then consult your local chiropractor and see if chiropractic can help you. Again, I'm Dr. Jeffrey Jenkins, and we'll see you next week. Better Health Through Chiropractic. Good night.